Okay, this is going to be a video lesson on translating verbal expressions to algebraic expressions and vice versa. Let's talk about some key words, okay? Some words that you should know that associate with add, plus, sum of, more than, added to, increased by. All of those words are add. Subtract, minus, difference of, taken from, less than, subtracted from, decreased by. Okay? For multiply, times, multiplied by, product, twice, divide, divided by, quotient, ratio, half. Okay? Some words that involve exponents, squared. And what squared looks like is when something has a 2. Cubed, something has a power of 3. Okay? Or the power of. The roots, cube root and square root, will be vital. That's what those look like. Very important to understand the difference between squared and square root, cubed and cube root. That's really important, okay? All right, now, words that tell you to change the order, and we'll get into this in a little bit. If you ever see the words less than, taken from, or subtracted by, what that does, like if we read this expression, it says 4 less than a number. Okay, less than we know is going to be subtraction. So you have 4, and then you've got a number. Now a number is just n. That's what you can refer to that, or x. Any variable that you really want, you can use. So this is 4 less than. So it would look like 4 minus n. But when you see the word less than, the order switches. So it's n minus 4. The same thing from taken away from. A number, n, taken away from 3. Okay, we know that's minus, but instead of n minus 3, it switches over as 3 minus n. A number squared subtracted from 5. A number squared, so n squared subtracted from, so minus 5. But once again, these are one of the ones that flip it around. And we'll get into those in a little bit. So put these on your radar, write these on your paper. These are vital. These are the ones that, honestly, students make the most mistakes on. Okay? All right? Now, let's talk about writing some of these very simple ones. It says 7 more than a number. So what you want to identify is what does more than mean? It means plus. 7, a number means n. So this is real simple. This is just 7 plus n. Okay? 2 minus 3 times a number. Okay? So minus means subtraction. 3 times a number. What that means is 3n. So 2 minus 3n. You don't have to switch those. It's not one of the words. The quotient of a number and 4. What does quotient mean? Division. So a number and 4, or you can write it as n divided by 4. Either one is fine. The sum of 4 and a number squared. Well, what does sum mean? Sum means add. So 4 plus a number, which is n squared. So 4 plus n squared. Twice a number decreased, should be decreased, by 7. So twice a number. So that's going to be 2n. Decreased means minus by 7. Okay? 15 less than 8 times the number. Oh boy, this is one of those big words. That's going to flip the order. It's minus. So 15 minus 8 times a number. Okay, so this is normally 8n. So what this would be as a final answer would be 8n minus 15. So the order flips. That's very, very important. Okay? All right, so go ahead and pause your video and go ahead and work on these and go formative. Okay, this is 9 less than, so that's minus. Okay, so this, a number would be n, so that's going to flip as n minus 9. So the order flips. The sum of 8 and 5 times the number. Sum means add, 5 times the number. That's going to be 5n. So it's going to be 8 plus 5n. Okay, the quotient of 12 and a number cubed. Okay, so quotient means division. So 12 divided by a number cubed. Okay, the difference of 16 and 4 times a number. Difference is minus. So 16 minus 4 times the number. I did not have to flip it because it was not the subtracted from, taken away from, or less than. Okay, those are the ones you really got to watch out for. Okay, we're going to keep practicing those. Okay, so these are the ones where the order switches. Okay, it says 4 less than, boom, star, that's a big deal. The product of 3 and a number. Okay, so 3n minus 4. But since I got this word, it turns into 4n minus 3. Twice a number taken away from. That's another big one. Okay, twice a number, 2n. 5. We know that's minus. But what that's going to do is flip the order. Okay, that sort of makes sense. Twice a number taken away from 5. Okay, a number cubed subtracted from, that's another big one. A number cubed, n cubed, subtracted from half of a number. Okay, all right, so once again, this would be 1/2 n minus n cubed. Okay, so those words, less than, taken away from, subtracted from. Make sure you're switching that order. Okay, so go ahead and pause your video and go ahead and finish these and go formative. Okay, all right, 12 less than, very important. Okay, half a number. Okay, 2 minus, all right, so that's got to flip. 1/2 n minus 2. 18, okay, taken away from, 9 times the number. Once again, key word, you got to flip that around. And 9n minus 18, okay? 8 times the number, subtracted from. Subtracted from, 8 times the number, okay? So what that's going to be is 50 minus 8n. Okay, make sure you're flipping those words are key. Gotta flip those around. Okay, all right. Now let's talk about when parentheses comes up. 2 times the sum. They'll talk about sum operation, okay? And then they'll talk about sum and difference. So when it says 2 times the sum of a number and 4, well, it's like this is, imagine just reading this part. What would the sum of a number and 4 be? N plus 4. But since it says 2 times that, I put the parentheses. 8 divided by the difference of 1 and a number, okay? So the difference of 1 and a number would be there, but since it's got that divided by, you can write it like that, or you can write it like that. So it's like a multiple operations, okay? Let's go over a couple examples. It says 4 times the sum. So I got 2 operations. So 4 times the sum of 11 and the number. So when you got the multiple operations, put the parentheses. Okay, 12 divided by the difference of. 12 divided by the difference of. Okay, so 12, all right, divided by, if you go ahead and put parentheses, of a number and 5. So that's what that looks like. The cube root of the sum of. So 2 things. Cube root of the sum of a number and 6. Okay, all right. 30 less than the sum of a number. Okay, so this other part, sum of a number and 7. Okay, and 30 less. What does 30 less mean? It means I got to put the minus sign right there. That's probably your trickiest one. Okay, that's probably your trickiest one. Okay, go ahead and pause your video and go ahead and try these. Okay, 7 times the difference of 9 in a number. So times the difference. Okay, that's going to be n minus 9. If you want to do that, the 7 times just comes in right there. The square root of 8 less than a number. Well, what's 8 less than a number going to look like? Well, that's going to be n minus 8. Okay, I got parentheses. What's that telling me? Square root. That's all I got to do. Okay, 12 less than the sum of a number and 5. So I'm going to do n plus 5. Okay, 12 less than that. So normally it'd be 12 minus, but this would be like this. Okay, 3 divided by the sum of 2 times the number and 11. Okay, so 3 divided by the sum of 2 times the number and 11. You could also write it like this. Okay, all right. So those might take a little bit of work, a little bit of practice. Okay, all right. All right, now let's talk about when they start to incorporate people in this. Okay, all right. So what you should do for the people is pretend like this is your only part. It says Jim has, Mike ordered, Sarah's ages. Just to make the expression deal with that. So 12 more dollars than Sally. So 12 plus whatever Sally has. You can use whatever variable you want. That's sort of the idea. Okay, Mike ordered 3 less pizzas than 2 times the pizzas Sarah did. Okay, well, what's less than 2 times the pizzas? Okay, so this would be like 2p. All right, but since I got this less than, that's important. That switches around the order. So 2n minus 3. Okay, all right, that's how simple, or 2p minus 3. Either one's work. Sarah's age is 7 more than Steve's age squared. So all I'm going to do is focus on that. 7 more than Steve's age squared. Okay, so don't overcomplicate it. The first words aren't as important. It's the back end that's important there. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause your video. Go ahead and work on these. Okay, so this one, okay, 10 more video games than Nick. Is that the same question? Nah, that's close. All right, 10 plus N. Becca has 7 less than 3 times Dave's songs. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, the less than is minus, it's going to flip around. Dave's songs, 7 less. That's all you have to do. So you just can ignore those front words. Okay, now we're going to go the other way. There are a lot of different answers with these, but now all you can do is write out the expression. This one could be the sum of a number and 8. You can also do a number plus 8. As long as the words, when I read them back, make sense, that's all you got to do. Okay? This one, there's a couple different answers. All right? 15 minus a number. Some people might say, want to write it this way, a number less than 15. So we say, Mr. Evans, that's not right, because 15 is first. Remember, what does less than do? It flips around that. That's a real easy way of doing this. Okay? This would be 2 times a number plus 3. Okay? You could do the sum of 2 times a number and 3. Okay? Either one is acceptable. Okay? What's happening here? A number squared divided by 5. You could say the quotient of a number squared and 5. Okay? Either answer is acceptable. All these ones are good. Okay? You just got to, when you read it back, the real key on this is when you read it back, just make sure it matches up with what you have. Okay? If it does, you're good. Okay? All right, so go ahead and pause your video and go ahead and work on these. Okay, so an answer here, got subtraction, 8 less than a number. I like doing that just because I like the idea of switching the order sometimes. Sometimes it makes it a little bit easier. This is like the sum of 4 and the number. Okay, this is a number cubed divided by 4. Okay? All right, this is one of those ones I'm going to do backwards again. 7 less than 8 times a number. Okay, I like doing that. When I got the minus, I like putting that second part first, throwing the less than there because then it switches the order. Okay? All right? All right, now we got these ones, okay? Involve parentheses. Once again, just gets to make sense what you're saying. All right, so it could be 10 times the difference of a number and 5. Okay, got the multiple operations, times the difference. Okay, what would this one be? 7 times the sum of 2 times the number and 6. Okay? Once again, those parenthesis deals lead to multiple operations being set. Okay? What's happening here? Now I got this minus. Watch this. Okay, you can do this a couple different ways. You can say the square root of the sum of a number and 5. I like this. 6 less than the square root of a number plus 5. Okay? All right, this one would be 12 divided by the difference of a number and 4. Once again, not overly picky. As long as your words match up with what you have. Okay, and I think this is the last page. Okay, I would like you to pause your video, go ahead and work on these last 4 questions and go formative. Okay, this one will be 8 times the difference of 7 times a number and 4. Okay, this one will be 15 times the sum of a number and 6. Okay, this one, I'm going to flip this around with the minus. I'm going to say 7 less than the cube root of a number minus 2. And this one, I'm going to say 8 divided by the sum of a number and 6. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so that's translating. Okay, key is that vocabulary at the end. Watch the less than, subtracted from, I think taken away from. Make sure you're switching the order of what you see first and what you see second.